one of the big things is that we have now a strategic partnership between the EU and the ASEAN bloc, and we have a significantly improved relationship between the EU and Korea, which was a personal initiative of the Korean president to press for closer relations. We've also had a very successful meeting a year ago with India. We've had developments with Japan. So in short, we're getting closer and closer to Asia, and I think it's becoming more and more a focus for Europe to work in the areas of education, training, culture and youth with the Asian countries. I think there are some very interesting developments and some very interesting projects, both from the point of view of ASEF and within the framework of EU-Asia relations in general, because there are certain new things which have been happening over the last couple of years or so. For example, Campus Asia, which is trying to develop mobility and quality controls between education systems in China, Korea and Japan, but then looking to integrate and to include ASEAN countries and the wider parts of Southeast Asia. The direct ASEF initiatives, I think, are very complementary to that whole process, and I think that in the future we'll be working much more closely together and seeing whether there is some practical ways that we can cooperate and to the benefit of everybody. Model ASEM, I think, is brilliant. This is only the very beginning today, and clearly all of the discussion and all of the contributions from the young people who have been selected will come in the future. But I think the fact that there is now a way of giving the declaration and giving ideas directly to the President of the European Council, I think that is a fantastic initiative, and it really means that youth has a voice. It means that the ideas that youth has and that perhaps the older generation is not quite so inventive to find, I think all of that is going to be very, very good. Model ASEM is an excellent initiative, and it's just at the right time before the ASEM summit. The main thing is the personal contacts that they will have. The people who I've been speaking to today have said, how can we know, for example, what the situation in Bangladesh is like without talking to somebody who knows it firsthand? For the people from Asia to know a little bit more about how the European Union and Europe as a whole is looking at relations with Asia and looking at the development of ASEM is an opportunity which will never exist again. So I think it's absolutely perfect, because in an interconnected world, in a globalized world, we need globalized skills, globalized knowledge, globalized experience, inter-ethnic, inter-regional relations. So the more we can develop the links, the more we can talk to people, the more we can generate the relationship between young people from Europe and from Asia, the better we will be placed to find our own place in the future.